Hey, what's up, everyone? How have you been? It's been a couple of weeks, I guess, since my last live stream. Alrighty. Yeah, I've been busy the last few weeks. I went to Ottawa for about 5 days because of the Ottawa International Animation Film Festival was screening The Soup Son Part 2. So I went to go see that along with a bunch of other short films and some other feature films. And I got to I met up with some cool people. I met up with, well, Carolina came with me. We both met up with this guy named Cole Kush, who did who's an animator as well, who has a YouTube channel, which you can just type in Cole Kush. Kush spelled K-U-C-H. He did a pilot for Adult Swim a year ago called Day World, and I keep talking about it on the stream once in a while. It's such a funny pilot, so I think you guys should check that out. Oh shit, my camera's, I didn't set up my camera. Hold on. Yeah, just give me a second here. I knew I forgot something. Fuck. Why is it like freaking stuck to the floor? All right. Give me a second here. Okay. And of course, it's not working. Wow. Yeah, this is going off well. Yeah, just bear with me here for a second. Okay. Okay, that's all right. That's working now. And okay, there we go. Yeah, sorry about that. It's just whenever I have to set up a live stream, there's always like 100 things I gotta check, and I always forget something. Alrighty, so that's better. I got Mischief back in the corner there. Are you ready for Spooktober? Last year I uploaded a lot of Spooktober videos. I've been thinking about doing another kind of like Spooktoberfest sort of thing, but I can't seem to come up with one idea that I'm happy with, so I don't know if it's gonna happen this year. Like, I don't know, man. I've just been focusing on the interface so much this year that like the bonus videos has kind of been pushed to the side, and now I'm not even sure if I can. I don't know. I just feel like if they're not coming to me and they're not good, I don't want to force it. So we'll see what happens. But just been working on interface stuff. Okay. All right. So let's see here. I have to draw some stuff for episode 16, which Panem. Are there any movies you're looking forward to? Yeah, there's a couple movies. There's that Breaking Bad movie that's coming out on Netflix. November sometime, I think. Or is it October? I forget. That one looks good. There's this new movie with Adam Sandler in it. What's it called? I think it's called Jules or something. And he plays like this kind of jeweler that's like corrupt jeweler. It's really weird, the trailer. I don't know if you guys have seen it. Adam Sandler is actually a really good actor when he does like serious movies, and he doesn't do them very often. Like, I don't know if you guys seen Punch Drunk Love, but that was a good movie. And so anyway, I have a feeling when this movie comes out, it's actually going to be quite good. So I can just kind of, you get a sense, sometimes you can just tell from the trailer if it's going to be good or not. And it looks like it's going to be good. So Uncut Jewels, that's what it is. All right, yeah, Uncut Jewels. Umami, are you doing Inktober this year? No, I don't really do that stuff. Carolina does that stuff a lot more, though. She's doing Inktober. And she is actually about to start doing some live streaming later this afternoon. She's going outside to do it. So if you guys are interested in following her on Twitch, her username is ArtCarolina. Maybe I'll post the link when I'm done live streaming this afternoon if you guys want to stick around and watch her. I think she's doing some Inktober stuff. The Lighthouse, but yeah. The Lighthouse looks good. They shot that in Nova Scotia, which is where I'm from. They shot that like in the area that I'm from. So I'm gonna have to see that. It looks really interesting. The new Joker movie, I haven't seen it. The trailer, I mean, it looks good. It's hard to tell though. It looks like it's gonna be pretty good. I haven't seen it yet, so I can't really comment on it. Actually, it looks like there's a lot of good movies coming out. I mean, that's usually what happens in the fall, right? All the good movies come out in the fall. But I feel like last year there was like not much I was excited about. So this year is coming looking a little better. Hey man, I just want to say thank you for taking time to talk to us. Hey man, of course, I like to do live streams once in a while. I haven't been feeling up to it recently. So, if you guys have any questions that aren't in my FAQ below, go ahead and ask, and I'll try to answer them the best I can. I've been working on several different programming projects. The OST interface has helped in those dark times of compiler errors. All right, man. Well, thank you. Okay, I'm drawing a house here, so I'm not really sure how the layout of it is supposed to go. I think I was gonna put some stairs here, and then a kitchen over here. That's kind of weird. It's one of those old houses, so it's really small. Maybe I'll put the kitchen on a different side of the room. I'm just going to be doing this freehand, you know. If it doesn't end up working, I'll just scrap it. But we'll see. What did you think of the Halloween reboot? So I saw the Halloween movie from last year, the remake with the old lady, I guess, and I thought it had potential, and then it kind of just like ended up just being a typical slasher about halfway. And the problem I had with that movie was this woman basically made her house a giant booby trap sort of thing, like high security. And then once Michael Myers was released from prison, whatever, or he escaped, and he was like right outside her house, she kind of just like threw like all of her training out the window and did really dumb shit, like stand right by the fucking door, or like I don't. It just kind of, once it got to that point, I was just like, it kind of ruined it for me. So I didn't really enjoy it that much. I think it started out a lot stronger than it ended. I haven't seen any of the new Halloween movies, if they're making a new one. I haven't seen any trailers or anything either, so. Thank you for your... Hey, Beef One. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Bill Bono. I've been thinking of getting a tattoo, Mischief. I've been kind of on a tattoo bender lately, but not sure if I want anything that color of pink on me. Yeah, it's yeah, I can understand. Some people actually got a tattoo of him. They posted on the subreddit a while ago. Basically, they just got like they kind of just got like the face part, but not like his body. So he doesn't actually show up as pink. Like they would get like, I'm just really roughly drawing him right now, but this is all fucked up. Anyway, there would just be like this portion of him and not like his body. So you wouldn't have any pink. But yeah, that's a really bad drawing of him. Okay, let me just save here. Yeah, thank you guys for all these comments about the interface and the animations and stuff. If I don't respond to them, I do read the comments. I can't get to read them out loud, all of them. Hex System is the music that I make, that I've been making for about 10 years under that name. And then when I came out with my animations, I kind of debated about calling them Hex System as well, but then I just didn't want to mix the music with the animations. So they're kind of like, the music's kind of its own thing, but that's why they're not like, it's not called Umami, basically. If that makes any sense. Okay, I gotta fix this drawing. The perspective is all wrong here. I don't want it to be that. I want to be closer to the wall, so. This is, unfortunately, this is not going to be a particularly interesting to watch live stream, but hopefully I can answer any of your questions and stuff, because I'm still working on episode 16 of Interface, and it just taken me a while to get through everything. It's going to be a bit longer than the usual episodes, I think. So... And freehanding it like this is a little tricky. I'm not using any reference images right now. Okay. Yeah, that's more what I wanted, something like that. Okay. How many episodes of Interface will you have? I'll probably have, well, I'm going to finish part 2, so there's going to be at least like 24 episodes, and then, but it'll probably go on longer than that. I think it might go until I'm guessing there might be more than 30 or 40 episodes, but that's hard to say at this point. Just curious, have you always done animation? Have you had any careers before? Yeah, I used to do video editing, like for corporate sort of stuff. I used to work for some website companies here in Montreal. And that's basically what I used to do before I did animation. I used to do like stop motion Lego stuff a long time ago when I was a kid. So, but it's pretty much just self-taught animation. Like I've looked at some tutorials on the internet. I didn't really take any classes for animation, so that's why it's still kind of rough looking in places, I guess. Well, it's obviously rough, but that's part of the style, I guess. Always, thank you, man. I do appreciate that a lot. That's very kind of you. Have you considered asking if some Hollywood producer would let you make your own movie? I would pay to watch a feature like this. I am. There has been some interest actually. I don't want to like get into it, but basically, nothing like too solid. Just there's been some people who have contacted me about possibly doing pitching it or that sort of thing. I'm not confident right now that that it's the right time to even do that. So what I'm doing now is I'm just working on my web series, and when I feel like I want to move on, then maybe I'll pursue that. But I don't want to like rush into the making a feature length or anything like that, because that would mean that I would disappear for a while. I wouldn't be putting out animations on my YouTube channel, and it's kind of a risk because, in my opinion, the future is moving towards the internet, and even though having a movie out there would be pretty cool, you can kind of shoot yourself on the foot a little bit if you make something that's not great. So I just want to take things easy for now and work on my web series and get this thing kind of down until at least complete it. I want to complete this story before I move on to something like that. So I'm in no rush is what I'm trying to say. What's my username again? Hey man, appreciate that. I want to go down a career path to do video editing, directing, and anything in that type of field. May I ask how you got that editing job or the path? So my first editing job out of university was working at a company that produced porn. Some of you may already know this, but I was a video editor for basically, it was like Playboy's website. And it was like interviews and just kind of mindless stuff. That was my first job out of university. Eventually I got laid off because the company just lays people off like crazy, and I started trying to freelance, and I got a lot of my freelance jobs on Facebook. So there's like a lot of groups on Facebook for like film crew jobs, because it's easy to hire someone on Facebook. You just put a casting out on the group, so look for jobs in groups. I did that for a couple years, and started a YouTube channel called Stereochroma with Carolina, where we shot documentaries. And then about 2 years ago, I started animating. So that's the path that I took. And honestly, for the first long time, it was pretty tough to make it as a freelance video editor. It's extremely hard. So I honestly can't recommend getting into video editing as a career alone, because people will always screw you over. Unless you're in creative control of your own projects, which is what I would recommend. So if you want to learn video editing and use it as a career, you take those skills and you put them to use for yourself. And whatever you make, you own the intellectual property of, because the future is that everything's going to be on the internet and you can publish it yourself and make royalties and stuff, just like YouTube, just like Amazon Video Direct and that sort of thing. So that's my advice. I wouldn't advise you to edit for someone else in a company, because basically, for where I used to work and most of my jobs, being an editor, it's not like what it used to be. You're kind of like at the bottom rung a little bit, even though you know a lot of technical stuff. The producer and, you know, the creative people that really don't know what they're doing are always in charge, and that's what I have to say about that. So and, it might be a little discouraging, but if you want to learn creative stuff like editing, and that's perfect, but use it for your own stuff and retain your IP. That's what I have to say about that. Because, you know, it's not like the past where there's people are gate holders and that sort of thing with content. You can just upload it to the internet, and if it's good enough, people will see it. Bilbono, just want to do my small part. Thank you for the quality content and for applying to my tattoo comment. If I do it, it'll be the face outline. I'll go Monday. Hey, Bilbono, that's awesome, man. That's send me the picture or whatever, or send me on Twitter. I'll take a look at it. I mean, I'm kind of excited. You can even like stylize them a little bit if you wanted to, or ask what the tattoo artist thinks, you know. If you go to my Twitter, people have redrawn Mischief in several different ways. You can kind of like get a different idea of like what's possible, I guess, with them. But all right, that's cool, man. Do you see the series ever ending, or will it just go? I'm kind of just going with the flow right now, but I don't want it to like go on forever to the point where you feel like I'm just dragging it out for no reason. I feel like right now every episode I make is for a reason, and until I stop having a reason to make an episode, then I'll know it's time to call it quits. I don't really know exactly when that will be. But it won't just go on forever for no reason, like The Simpsons or whatever, you know. I don't want to like go down that route of never-ending story sort of thing, you know. I want it to actually complete itself and be something that you can watch from beginning to end. Because eventually I'm going to, you know, it's going to get to a point where I can't, like, for myself, every like 5-10 years I start doing something different, and I don't know how long I'll be doing animation for. Right now I'm doing it, you know, but we'll see, basically. I don't plan that far ahead. I work in TV production as a freelance cameraman, and if you want a slightly different take on editing, looking into Dino/EVS live replay systems, good work and money. Always 28. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's like a completely that's like a field that I'm not even familiar with, but that sort of stuff definitely would probably, you know, be very well paid. Traditional video editing, like on a small scale, like what I used to do, is just because it's so easy now, like you can get, you know, anyone can get Adobe for relatively cheap. Well, it's not cheap, but it's, you know, professional editing software is just available on, you can edit on any laptop now. So it's like in the future, you know, it's just there's gonna be a lot of people who can do editing, you know. But I guess that more specialized live stuff, I guess it would be very, it's probably be still niche, I guess. How much of your work do you say is animating? How much is plot work? Any themes you're trying to use in the plot? Well, the plot is the hardest part for me, but it doesn't take the longest. The animation takes the longest, but maybe I spend the most time thinking about the plot. When it comes to animating, I spend a long time thinking about the particular shots I have to draw too. I don't want to like draw a shot that I don't need, or composition wise, I try to draw the shots like a painting almost, like where they convey a message just from the composition a little bit, if that makes any sense. I don't want to just like, just draw randomly. Like if there's a close-up, there's a reason why there's a close-up, or if it's a tracking shot or whatever, then there's a reason. I try to make sure everything has a stylistic reason why I'm doing it, otherwise it doesn't really add anything to the animation. Okay, so let's see here. I need to draw a door, I think. The ceiling is too low. That's better. Okay. How old are you? I'm 29. You mentioned switching every 10 years or so, so I'm curious how many times that happened. I guess it wasn't 10 years, every 10 years, but I kind of like go in between painting and like making music and working in documentaries and videos sort of thing. Like, there was a more of a period of time when I was more into painting and stuff. I'm not that old, but I've been working with like video and stuff since I was pretty young though, like I'd say around 14, 15. So it's been a while for me, I guess. A Turek eye rape rapper. Really loved your work. Yeah, man, I like that painting too, guys. That's one of my favorites. Would you do live shows for your music? I don't know, because here's the thing, like it's kind of like I spend a lot of time getting the MIDI notes in the right place and mixing all these different effects around, and I don't think I would really be able to do it live. Like if I were to do it live, I probably like I don't like I'm saying like when I play the piano, I end up doing something, but then I have to fix a lot of what I did after the fact. So if I were to do something live, it would just be kind of a mess, and I don't think it would sound as good because none of the effects I would be able to do them live. And there's some musicians that can do that sort of thing, and I'm not really a musician in the traditional sense, so I don't think I could do a live show. It would be just me like playing a button, pressing a button, maybe messing around with the MIDI keyboard. It'd be I wouldn't be very good. So, this door needs to be wider. I don't want to be the guy that ruins everything with a dumb, unrelated question, but do you know about JoJo's? So I think you're talking about JoJo's, like this animation, or that. I actually haven't seen anything about that show. I don't know what it is. JoJo's. People keep bringing that name up. I'm not really familiar with it, unfortunately. I haven't watched it. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Also, it's just I'm kind of like an introverted person, so if I were like on a stage and all the attention was on like me, I'd just go. I'd probably just have. It would not go well. That's what I'm saying. It's like. I think the floorboards are drawn this way in the previous shot. I don't want to like open up the other shot, so it like kind of ruins it. But this is going to be a very basic looking shot, but you will see how when I add the lighting, how it can give it some more depth. Does anyone know if this is a way to watch this live stream after it's over? When this live stream is over, I'm going to be adding it to a playlist called live streams. And it might take a few hours for it to like process properly, but basically you'll be able to go back and click through anything. I got all my old live streams on there as well, so you can find some old stuff I made. Yeah. Have you ever been affected by demonetization? Has that ever led to losing drive for your work? I know everyone kind of goes on about demonetization and stuff, but I have not really had to experience it that bad. There was a day when the Thomas the Thermonuclear Bomb video got the yellow icon, and I clicked on appeal, and then like 12 hours later they said, it's fine. So it wasn't really a big deal for me. My videos aren't really like controversial or gory, so I'm kind of on like they're kind of safe, honestly, you know. I'm trying to creep people out without having to rely on that sort of stuff. So I haven't really experienced too much of the demonetization with YouTube. That being said, the animations don't really make much off of YouTube anyway, because they're so short, and the way YouTube ads work is they pay more if the videos are longer. And the compilation video I made, I only put one ad at the beginning. I didn't want like people to be like watching it and have like a freaking toilet paper ad come up halfway through like one of the more serious speeches. So I just put one at the beginning. So anyways, it doesn't matter, because honestly, you guys have been supporting me so much through Patreon and the merch, so I'm not too concerned about YouTube as a source of revenue. How many episodes had you done when you posted the first episode of Interface? How long have you been working on the project? Hey, Daniel. I put episode 1 up pretty much as soon as I finished it. So I kind of started Interface without a plan. I just was just like, I want to do a web series, and I just made episode 1 out of the blue. It was based off of something I drew a long time ago, but I don't really have like a story or anything written down. And then after that, I was like, oh shit, well, I guess I have to do episode 2. And then episode 3 is when I started really trying to figure out where it was going to go. So there's something wrong with this floorboard. The perspective is incorrect. I think these lines are not angled enough. I'm really glad Nexpo made that video on interface because I wouldn't have found it any other way. Yeah, man, that Nexpo video was really a nice boost to the channel. I quite appreciate him doing that review. These lines are going to be a little thinner because they're further away. I try not to draw like 1 pixel lines like right here, but sometimes it's okay, especially if it's going to be in a dark shot, which this scene is going to be kind of dark. Is everything entirely animated in Photoshop? Not entirely. So I use like After Effects and Premiere, and so I do most of my drawing. I do all my drawings pretty much in Photoshop, though. I've been trying to do more stuff just in Photoshop because I was getting to a point where I was overcomplicating things needlessly, and just because you can do something crazy in After Effects doesn't mean it really makes it better. And the more stuff that you do in Photoshop, the more it looks hand-drawn. I think the kind of more interesting the animation looks, if that makes any sense. Of course, you can do some cool 3D stuff and that sort of thing in After Effects, but since Season 2 started, I've kind of made a conscious decision to only use that crazy 3 stuff if I really think it needs to be added. And so far, I haven't really had to use too much. I've been doing most of it in Photoshop, so. Okay, so I don't know about this drawing or this painting on the wall here yet, so I'm just going to leave it for now. I'm going to save this. Have you ever thought about making a clothing brand outside of Teespring? I have actually thought about that because I thought I could do some cool stuff that, wasn't restricted by their... But at the same time, it's just, I'm basically one guy by myself, and Carolina helps me, so it would be too much to take on right now. Maybe in the future, I don't know. We'll see. Teespring for me is pretty easy. They get some there's templates basically. You gotta draw them and design them, and your animation on the soup actually made me determined to not be a genetic dead end and work on myself to be better and find a spouse. Weird thought, though it may seem. Hey man, I'm happy for you. The purpose of that animation wasn't to make people feel bad. It was just that it was. I kind of feel like, people are kind of stuck in a rut a little bit. And when I do an animation, I do kind of want to talk to the person watching the video. And I do feel like a lot of people feel similar to how you feel about the video. But anyways, I'm just happy that you enjoyed the animation. It's supposed to be, I feel like if you're making something surreal and it kind of like, you're able to like relate to it a little bit, it makes it even more surreal. Like, it's not just a surreal video, it's just not weird for the purpose of being weird. But there's a kind of realistic aspect to it that makes it more interesting. Is there any ideas on merchandise you would have wanted to make but couldn't because it's mostly just t-shirts and that sort of thing? Yeah, I mean, there is definitely some stuff. Now it's getting to a point where I can just kind of make anything I want and send them a box to Teespring. So I could make a Mischief bicycle, like you're saying, or a watch, or something Umami related. It's just the problem for that sort of thing is I'd have to front the money ahead of time, have it made in China or some country that's relatively cheap, and then that's like crazy stuff. But I actually have been looking into it. I've been kind of looking into like getting some nice music boxes made or something, but I haven't done anything yet. So I'm just kind of figuring out what I want to do. Otherwise, you know, making the vinyl records, the custom vinyl records was kind of a major thing that I did on my own. That was, I got a company out here to make them, and the CDs as well. So next year I might do something again like that. I just gotta figure out what I really want to do. I'm thinking of doing Halloween masks, actually. I think a lot of people have been asking for those, and that would be cool to do, but that's something I'd have to get custom made somewhere. And the plushie thing might be actually a lot easier because Teespring already has companies that they work with. I also don't want to like, I don't know, it's kind of weird saying this, but I don't want to like just like go ham with the merchandise. Like I really do appreciate you guys buying my merchandise and stuff, but I feel like I should kind of make like once in a like make them special, you know, when they do come out. Every year. It's not so I have to think really, you know, about what I really want to do, and I wanted to just create everything that's possible, I guess. If you make it in China, please have a small stock to station in there. I live there. Hey, Krampus. I will see if I can do that. I don't know if, unfortunately, Teespring doesn't have like a fulfillment center in China. They have one in Europe. Charles Harrison. A friend has a story for a great animated series. Hey, Charles, thank you for the super chat. What is your friend's story about, I guess? Have you seen the movie To Live and Die in L.A.? Sorry, man, I haven't seen that. I will try to keep that in mind next time I'm looking for a movie. Have you guys ever seen the movie Road to Perdition? With Tom Hanks in it? And he plays like a Chicago gangster. I've been putting it off for, I never seen it, right? I just saw it a couple days ago because it was on Netflix. I was like, okay, this movie's got all these like Academy Award nominations and stuff. It must be like really good, right? And I watched it, and there were some scenes about it that were, it was good. Like it was a decent movie, but I was like, this is like, when you break it down, it's just an extremely simple story. Like almost to the point where I didn't really get anything out of it. It was just kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain this unless, I don't know, there was just some things about it. I was talking to Carolina about it. I was like, okay, so the mob people that he used to work for wants him dead and killed his family because his son witnessed this situation that shouldn't have happened, basically. And that's the storyline. And then they're just kind of trying to kill their bosses. And then that scene comes down at the end where he has to have the showdown with his bosses. And he just like wipes them all out with a Tommy gun on the street. There was like no resistance at all. I don't know. I didn't really enjoy it. I just thought it was kind of weird. Like how it was like so easy for him. And then at the end, he goes to this house out by the beach, which he previously told his son, hey, we can't go to this house because they know I'm going to go there and they're looking for me and they'll kill me. So they go to that house and he just like walks in the door and then gets shot. And that's the end of the movie. I'm probably going on a weird rant. This movie came out a long time ago. And it's kind of probably, if you haven't seen it, it's called The Road to Perdition. The whole time I'm watching it though, I'm like, I felt like it was weird to see Tom Hanks as a gangster. Just like I'm picturing Woody from Toy Story the whole time when he said stuff, and I don't know. I feel like it's hard for him to play those kind of characters. But anyway. Aesthetically, it was nice to look at, though. I mean, it was a cool looking movie. It was the same sort of problem I had with it's the same sort of problem I had with that Keanu Reeves movie, John Wick, where it just almost seems like the shootouts are like too easy, or he's like really skilled and stuff, so he just kind of shoots everyone in the head immediately or breaks their arm and stuff. But there's like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Pulp Fiction, yeah, Pulp Fiction was a good movie. It's been a long time since I've seen that, though. Okay. There's supposed to be like a crib in this room or something. Have you seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? I haven't seen that, sorry, man. I'll draw this on a separate layer. Actually, this wouldn't make sense because the crib is not supposed to be in this room at this point of time. Yeah, let's just gonna draw some boxes and stuff. It's supposed to be kind of decrepit, this house, at this point. You guys know that they're making a 4th Matrix movie? Carolina was telling me about this. And she was telling me how she is thinking it's going to suck because one of the Wachowskis is not involved. And apparently they're going to interject a lot of social justice into the storyline because that is the new shtick. And I'm just thinking to myself, well, how the hell is that going to work? Their last couple movies were not great, so I'm not... I don't know, man. I'm one of those few people that actually enjoyed the 3rd Matrix and the 2nd Matrix movies. But I'm talking about, like... Yeah. Though I saw that one with, what's her name? God. I really suck at remembering people's names. Okay, sorry. It's going to be terrible. Neo is trans now. Yeah, man, I don't know. I just feel like sometimes, like... I like the Wachowskis, so I'm I'm trying to stay positive, but we'll see what happens anyway. I'll just put another box on the ground here. Keanu Reeves, I'm really looking forward to that new game though, Cyberpunk 77 with Keanu Reeves in it. That came as a surprise when he was unveiled to be in it. I'm happy that Keanu Reeves is getting more work. Wow. Let's see. Why may I ask why you named it Interface? I've been asked in the Discord since you haven't picked it up yet. I might be able. Krampus Wincent. So I drew this comic back in 2009, and it was basically. Let me just see here. Let me just pull it up so you guys can see. Not the comic. I'm gonna show you something else. Yeah, so I don't really know what the hell I was doing, but there was this Time magazine that came out called Tragedy in Waco. You guys heard of what happened in Waco, Texas several years ago. And instead of it being David Koresh, I drew this character called Mischief. And then at the top, I wrote Interface. And it was black and white. And then the second page was the comic that I've already shown you guys. Let's show you. I'll pull that up too. Umami, which was this. Oops, that's not it. This is this. I don't know. So I have no idea why the fuck I called it Interface back in 2009. So when I started redoing everything, like doing the web series, I called it Interface because that's what I've previously called it in 2009. And now I have a reason for it. But I don't want to explain what that reason is, unfortunately. So that's going to sound kind of stupid, but it's basically it's another word for the static that kind of takes place in the episodes. It's kind of like that sort of thing that interacts with everything else, and so that's why it's an interface. Like it's an interface for this sort of connection that everything has. So I guess does that make sense? As to why I drew Mischief as that Time magazine cover, I don't know. Sometimes you just have to work instinctively, and that's what I did. And hold on, I lost my window here. There's yeah, there's a lot of stuff to the character of Mischief that I haven't even touched on in the web series that is part of his backstory, and so a lot of the things like might seem conflicting or they don't make sense. Like, how is it that he said in 1943 he was this guy on a boat, while at the same time he was also a clown in like 1910 or whatever? Like, how does that make any sense? And there's a reason for it. I haven't fully explained it in the episodes yet, but it all makes sense in my head. I have a reason for it. It will be partially explained, at least, into the future, so. Okay, I'm sorry this is kind of a boring live stream to watch. It's me just drawing a kitchen sink, basically. So in terms of lighting, oh, you know what? I messed up. I should put this on a separate layer. This way, when I draw my lighting, it goes underneath the black outline. I can animate the lighting separately if I want to. I'm sure you can figure out who's supposed to be in the shadow here down here. Oh yeah, so Carolina's live streaming right now too, eh? Alright. I'll post a link when I'm done. Be good. If you just want to check her out. Oh, actually I can do some now, actually. Hold on, just give me a second. Okay, so if you guys are interested, Caroline is also doing live streaming at their side. I just posted a link. She's doing, I don't know what she's doing. She's doing some plein air painting or something. She made this kind of easel by herself. The angle of the lighting is off. Henrik's shadow would have him upside down, unless that's intentional. Henrik, he's actually standing off screen right now. He's over here, if that makes any sense. He's not going to be standing right here. And this shadow, this lighting is of a doorway that's off screen over this way. The it's yeah. I don't want to like give away what happens in the scene. I mean, that's the part of the problem with live streaming is that I don't want to like ruin what happens with spoilers, but shit, I'm drawing on the wrong layer again. Sometimes I'm just working on this and interface stuff and I don't really feel like doing something random, so yeah, this is like, this over here is light from outside. So it is a little confusing. Once if you see the previous shot, it will make more sense in your head. Okay, this window is also going to be a little bit busted up. So you guys, what are your plans for Halloween? I mean, I'm assuming you're older, that you don't old enough that you're not going out for Halloween, but if you have like Halloween parties and stuff, are you guys dressed up as anyone? Answer, please. Let's see here. Random sponge. What did you say? How close is this one to being done then? This episode is, I already have about 2.5 minutes animated, but in my opinion, it's not done yet. So, well, it's not close to being done. So it could be it might be a 4-minute animation. So I might say I might be halfway done. I got more of it done than episode 15 took me a long time for some reason. I was just trying to figure out where it was going to go, and this episode is going to have a lot more atmosphere, and I already had some of the shots planned in my head, so it didn't take that long to get to that 2-minute point, but there's still a lot that has to be done. I want this episode to be kind of special, I guess. I don't know if I like this reflection or not in the mirror here. I might just get rid of it. There's supposed to be more lighting over here, actually. Just lighting coming from different windows and stuff. Oh yeah, definitely not rushing. I just want to I want to kind of strike a balance between upload frequency. Like, I don't want to wait too long before I make a new video. And to help alleviate that, I kind of put some restrictions on myself, like try to get one shot done a day at least, or one something, you know, music-wise, anything. It kind of, by the end of the month, it kind of adds up. There's some days where I have to go a little bit crazier, though. Last year, she was oh, hold on, let me go up here. I'm dressing up as Bernie's stint. Okay, no Halloween in China. Sad. I'm dressing up as a tampon to scare all the women away. Gonna dress up as Mischief with a long ass tail and just travel around to terrify children. Watch me pull up to my childhood middle school in a Patrick Star jumpsuit. How about you release a Mischief costume? Maybe in the future. I don't know if I have the resources to do that right now. I don't look. Okay, hold on. My computer's kind of lagging all of a sudden. Oh man, this like chat box is all lagged up. Sorry if I couldn't read your comment there. Hey, I rewatched all your videos like 5 times. Thank you. I can't pronounce your name because I don't know. I think what language that's written in. Maybe let's see if I can. But thank you very much for the super chat. I really appreciate that, man. Russian friends. Thank you, Russian friends. Charles Harrison. Have you ever done a collaboration? Hey, thanks, Charles. Sort of. Been kind of trying to do something. I don't know if it's working out. I haven't really... Well, I mean, the collaborations I've done have kind of just been voice actors. Like The Minute Hour and Phil Jameson. Those were collaborations because they basically wrote their own part with some guidance. And but animation wise, as a collaboration, it's not so easy because you're working on like different computers and stuff, and like sometimes the style doesn't match. I thought about doing it with some people, but it just never got around to anything. Never got anything substantial out of it yet, so it's not out of the question. It just I haven't done it yet, sir. So yeah. Okay, so let's see here. This is the shots. Is there like a... I think there's supposed to be a lamp hanging from the ceiling. The only lighting in this room is the exterior sunset lighting. So there's no light bulbs inside that are on. All the lighting is going to be from the windows, and that is why it is so dark. However, I'm going to be drawing some light in the lamp here, but that's only because the light is easily reflected. Specular highlights that you would get in something like a light bulb. And I also have to draw them on the water faucet, because let's see here. Even though the light is not directly hitting it, it would show up as a reflection because it's probably made out of metal. Like that. It also kind of makes it stand out a little bit too. And up here, maybe something just like that. But maybe on the other side. Hold on. Yeah, something like that maybe. I can touch it up later. Oh yeah, that's also supposed to be a chain. Like those old lamps. But I don't... If I do that, it's going to look distracting, I think. Just leave it. Hey Umami, I see you later. Just a question before I leave. How far do you plan on taking Interface, and do you think you'll start another series? Yeah, so like I said previously, I'm thinking probably it could be up around 40 episodes. I want the when the whole thing comes together, parts and stuff wise, I want it to be around 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half, like a feature film sort of thing. So you watch it, it's like a feature film. And so I got 40 minutes as part 1, and part 2 might be another 40 minutes. So that's 80 minutes, not quite long enough. And then maybe I might do a part 3, who knows? And then that might be it. So that might be like, but that, like, see, I'm thinking if I were to finish all that work, that's going to be like at least 6 or 7 years from now. So it's hard to say really what's going to happen. I don't plan that many years in advance. I'm just working on it one step at a time. It would be cool to have that many episodes, you know? That's what my goal is, but it may not happen. Who knows? We'll see. Part 2 might just get extended to be a little bit longer than part 1. I need to see where I'm feeling, where things are going, you know? I don't want to just extend it for the sake of it. Oh yeah, Krampus, no worries, man. I'm not gonna like just end without a conclusion. It's gonna definitely have a conclusion. So I've seen enough stuff that doesn't end, and I'm just like, it makes it so frustrating, like Half-Life 2 or Shenmue 2. And just give me a second, guys. I gotta get some water. Interface will break the record for the longest running animated sitcom. What is my favorite dinosaur? You know, I don't really know enough about them to really have a favorite because I only know like the ones that you see in movies. But I think there's like a dinosaur that has like this giant platypus beak. I forget what it was called. I think that one's my favorite. I don't know, it's just strange looking. And Umami, I got my mom into interface. She watched every episode. Her favorite bit is the unicycle mischief scene. Yeah, that's cool, man. That's pretty nice. I'm happy that the interface is becoming a wholesome family movie entertainment. It's not like grotesque, so like you can share it with your parents and stuff, and like it's, you know. Like, I don't know if I would, well, there's some stuff on the internet that I watched growing up, which I quite enjoyed, but I wouldn't, like, share it with my parents because it's so fucked up. Shouldn't the faucet have knobs to change water pressure? Yeah, you're right. I should probably draw some knobs. Gleb Romanov. Hey man, thank you for that. For the super chat, man. That's kind of you. I really appreciate that. I showed my dad Pilot Red Sun the other night, and he had no fucking idea what was going on. I think Pilot Red Sun, it's kind of more like you have to, like, you either get it or you don't get it at all. His new animation about the cop, like, that is just insane. If you guys haven't seen that one, he made a new animation just a couple days ago, and I really like how his style has evolved into this really bizarre, mushy kind of like painterly. It's so strange. It's so weird looking. It's like, yeah, I had watched that several times, that video, and if you guys haven't checked that out, type in Pilot Red Sun. Well, I'm sure most of you have. I just like the little things that he does, like the way his hair swirls when he like asks to get some air. Just I don't know. Yeah. Alright guys, I'm sorry this live stream has been so low-key. I just haven't really had any energy to even really properly do one. I just kind of wanted to catch up with you guys and say hello, because it's been a while. Should probably do another one sometime soon. I know it hasn't really been very long, but I think I might wrap it up for today. I'm working on episode 16. It's coming out. I don't know when it's coming out. Yeah, I've just been working on it quietly. By the way, if there is there's a competition going on in the Discord, and it's an art competition. So if you guys want to draw anything related to the rules there for the competition, check out the Discord and send in a piece of artwork. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, just, you know, a little drawing, whatever, and it's going to be judged by the community, and I will also be selecting a prize based on the ones that I liked. And you can win some free merch. So that's, if you guys, you know, if you're out there in a country that is expensive shipping and stuff and you can't get any merch, just enter the contest. And maybe you'll be able to win something. It also comes with some CDs. I'm going to send a CD, music CD. Tareki Rapper, can you make an animation for the competition? You should check the rules because I'm not sure, but I think in the past it was discouraged because it would make your entry feel like it was it would be judged more so, like, because it was an animation, if that makes any sense. But I don't think the rules are that strict. You could probably do it anyway. I don't think it would matter. Anyways, yeah, man, I still have a box of the CDs. The vinyls have sold out, by the way. The interface vinyls have sold out. And I am making a new pressing in a different color. I think those pink ones that we made, they might be rare. I don't know if I'm going to make those pink ones in that color again. I'm going to be doing a different design for the actual vinyls for the second pressing. Those will come out in a couple months. I'll tell you guys about that when it comes out. All right, I'm going to do another live stream sooner than last time. It won't be 4 weeks like the last one I did. Probably next week I'll do another one. If you guys are still hanging around, you want to watch something, I recommend you check out Carolina, because she's live streaming right now on Twitch. And you can check her out right there. Let me just test to make sure that's the right link. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you for all your questions. Thank you for everyone who was super chatted today. And for all your support over these past couple days and weeks and months and stuff. Really do appreciate it. And I will talk to you guys sometime in the future. Until next time, have a good Halloween and a good weekend. Bye.